published 13:55 Eastern Standard Time, the 7th of January 2018, updated 16:56 Eastern Standard Time, the 7th of January 2018. The FA Cup has been kind to Arsene Wenger during these difficult years of Premier League underachievement and European inconsequence. 3 times in 4 seasons the famous piece of silverware has provided something of a balm to the hurt inflicted in the major competitions. So quite why Wenger would effectively dismiss the trophy now is curious in the extreme. Arsene Wenger was forced to watch from the stands as Arsenal suffered a shock FA Cup exit, was always going to make changes at Nottingham Forest. That was evident as his complaints about fixture congestion began to stack up like a never-ending Jenga tower. But the side Wenger picked at the City ground served only to invite trouble, a collection of young players and squad members that were no match for a vibrant championship side out to prove a point following the sacking of Mark Warburton. Those without regular games in the legs looked too rusty, those experiencing the start of a senior career too green. Then there was nobody of genuine substance on the bench who could be sent on to perform a rescue act. Wenger tends to treat this stage as an opportunity to rotate, but each of his sides from previous winning campaigns bore greater comparison to his typical first team. The Gunners were passengers against Nottingham Forest and were outplayed throughout. In 2014 Arsenal hosted Tottenham in the 3rd round, so it was pretty much full strength. In 4th round at home to Coventry, Mesut Ozil, Laurent Koscielny, and Jack Wilshere all started in a 4-0 romp. In 2015 at home to Hull it was a strong side of senior players. Alexis Sanchez, Hector Bellerin, and Tomas Rosicky all began the game. Last season, in a fixture of similar risk away to Preston, Aaron Ramsey, Granit Xhaka, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain all started. It still required a last-minute winner from Olivier Giroud, but Wenger did not learn. Here, there was no late surge to victory. Forest needed to be right at the high-energy game, but Wenger's selection played to their advantage. Wenger cannot complain about the result, having fielded a side too weak to threaten. Forced per Mertesacker looked as leaden-footed as we have seen him, Rob Holding drastically short on confidence, while Mathieu Debuchy appeared a pale imitation of the player signed in 2014. Up against 18-year-old Ben Brereton, they were consistently found wanting for pace. Brereton was a constant menace in his preferred centre-forward role, holding up play intelligently to relieve pressure, finding the channels, and repeatedly running in behind to get on the end of chances. He could have scored at least twice before finally netting confidently from the penalty spot. German defender Per Mertesacker was lacking the pace he is so often exposed for Forest's 18-year-old striker Ben Brereton tormented the Gunners. Backline throughout. Theo Walcott put on a display that may put off any potential buyers in the January window. In attack, Arsenal kept possession as ever but failed to do much by way of penetration. If Theo Walcott is playing for a move away, this was not the way to go about it, while Mohamed Elneny was too much of a passenger in midfield. It was left to the younger players of Reiss Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Chris Willock to demonstrate fight, but they lacked the quality to cut through Forest, and anyway Arsenal never looked a cohesive enough team. Ainsley Maitland-Niles demonstrated his fight but lacked the quality to cut through Forest. Against other opponents they might have got away with it. But Gary Brazil knows this squad, and as a caretaker manager tends to generate positive results. He organised his side well and knew how to hurt Arsenal. Wenger was left to survey the scenes from the stands, subjected to taunts from nearby Forest fans who suggested he should sit down when complaining about one of the refereeing decisions. He can have no complaints. It was his call to field such a weakened side that led to this humbling result. Sunday's defeat could see them wave goodbye to a competition that has been kind to them.